Welcome to HP Unplugged, an initiative that celebrates the inspiring stories of leadership, innovation and excellence. In this episode, we are privileged to feature Shri Sreenivasa Rao, Executive Director Natural Gas, whose extraordinary career journey at HPCL spans over 3 decades. Shri Rao has been at the forefront of transformational projects in HPCL's history, from modernizing LPG infrastructure to pioneering innovations in natural gas and biofuels. His unwavering commitment to excellence and resilience in the face of challenges sets him apart as a visionary leader. Shri Rao's contributions, especially as CEO of HPLNG, have established benchmarks in operational efficiency and strategic project execution, including the commissioning of HPCL's LNG terminal, a key asset for India's energy future. Ladies and gentlemen, let us explore the remarkable journey and insights of Shri Sreenivasa Rao. Sir, a warm welcome to HP Unplugged. We are truly privileged to have you here, sir. And before we start, I want to convey my heartiest congratulations for the commissioning of 5 million metric ton LNG terminal at Chhara. So, how are you feeling, sir?
Thank you, Sudiptyo. We are feeling great at this moment after commissioning of this terminal, which is long awaited. Actually, if you are aware, we have mechanically completed this terminal in March 23.
Okay.
And after that, because of various reasons, especially because of the pipeline connectivity, we could not commission it immediately.
Okay.
And during our last attempt, the pipeline connectivity happened so late in the season that we had difficulty with weather conditions and all that, because of which we had to call off the attempt.
Okay.
And now we have, once again gone ahead and successfully commissioned the terminal. And this time, I'm happy to share with you that it has been carried out in a textbook style.
Oh.
Perfect. In the bare minimum time period that is required.
Okay.
And we have been able to complete it without any hitch.
Okay.
So my compliments to all the team members and CEO of HPLNG, who is at the forefront of all these activities. And his entire team. Okay. I compliment all of them for this successful commissioning of this terminal.
So congratulations to you and to the entire team of HPLNG and Natural Gas for commissioning this. So if you want to recall any particular challenge or the importance of this project, so if you want to highlight something, please let us know, sir.
Actually, this entire project has been full of challenges, not one, many. The first and foremost was COVID challenge. We have started actually the physical activities at the site were started in the month of November 2019. And soon after, in March 2020, we are all aware that there was a lockdown of almost a month, and then there were various restrictions on many activities. And throughout that period, till we mechanically completed, that is till 2023, we were almost somewhere or other under COVID influence or COVID restrictions. In fact, the force majeure notice that the contractors had given us in the month of March 2020, they have not withdrawn that till the end of the project.
Okay.
So, of course, there was no negative impact of that notice that they have given. One way, maybe it may be positive also, because with that there is no liability towards each other for both the parties, neither to the contractor nor to the owner. So that way it helped us also, because there were no extra claims or anything because of so many difficulties the contractors had to go through because of COVID. So that's a positive side of that. But yes, COVID was the biggest challenge. And equally big challenge that we have faced was about the financing of the project.
Okay.
Actually, we have started off the physical activity, like I told you, in November 2019, and we have achieved financial closure by March 2020. But unfortunately, we could not start the drawdown because of certain CPs that have to be met by the promoters. More specifically, our partner, joint venture partner, they could not meet some of the CPs because that the drawdown could not happen. And actually there was very little funding that was coming through in those days, and it was very difficult to manage the project, and we were not able to pay the contractors. At one point of time, that was in February 2021, we had difficulty in paying the employees also, employees' salaries.
Okay.
We could not pay employees' salaries on time, and I had to run around the promoters and somehow come to some kind of an agreement, and then HPCL had given a 20 crore kind of a loan amount to the company, by which I could discharge some of the important liabilities like employees' salaries, and we could pay that particular month, around 25th of the month, we could pay the previous month's salary. And also some of the tax liabilities, which are statutory in nature. Those also we could not discharge. Those things I could discharge. And by March 2021, we ran up debts to the extent of almost 850 crores to the contractors. So luckily on 30th March 2021, the agreement was signed between the parties for stake sale, and on 31st afternoon, I got 650 crores in one lot from HPCL. And we worked that day till 11 o'clock in the night to disburse that amount to all the contractors. Because we have made promises to those people that before the year end we will make the payments. And we were able to honor that commitment that we have made, which gave a huge fillip to the project. Subsequent to that, after, it was kind of HPCL making a statement to the whole world, the commitment that we have towards this project. And it was taken very well by the contractors. And after that, 31st March, there were never any discussions about payments. That was the kind of impact that particular incident had. And of course, there are technical difficulties in this kind of projects, all through major projects. We have been able to, and EAL is the PMC that we have for the project, and who have been very cooperative throughout this period. And all things went well, and then finally we have been able to come to this stage where we are able to say that yes, we are commissioned.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting all the challenges and the difficulties that you saw in the project, and finally how you overcame it, to bring to us this project, which is going to be very beneficial, not only for the corporation, but for the entire country. So now we want to focus your early career in HPCL. You had a very illustrious career. So what are some of the key highlights of your career which shaped your leadership, shaped your journey in HPCL, if you want to highlight something?
Yeah, actually, I consider myself very fortunate. The way, I have received response, my colleagues, from my superiors, from everybody around me who were involved during my career. Actually, I started my career in Pahadpur as a project engineer, as a trainee. As soon as I joined, I was posted there in Pahadpur, and when I reported there, I found that it's a two-man location. One, me and my boss. And my boss happened to be Mr. Shushandhar. Yeah. So So it was, of course, constructing an LPG plant, Pahadpur LPG plant. You know the area, that area is very sensitive area, and lot of external issues and all that used to be there. So we have kind of an arrangement that he would be taking care of all external activities. He being local, he is a Bengali, so he knows the language, and though I also could understand Bengali, having studied from NIT Durgapur, and soon immediately going to Calcutta posting. So, but I am not, of course, that conversant with the language, and our agreement was that he would take care of all external activities, including the approvals and all that. I would be taking care of the internal thing. And I cannot forget the kind of treatment that he gave me all through. When I went as a trainee, he treated me more like a friend, never like a boss. And the kind of freedom he gave me in my work is unimaginable. Unimaginable. Actually, I started feeling that I am the owner for this project. That kind of, that sense of ownership came immediately because of the kind of responsibility I have been given. And whatever I do, there were never any questions asked. Why you have done that or what you have done, never that kind of questions. We discuss the progress every day in the morning when he comes. Previous day events we used to discuss, and then generally there used to be some external activity, so he used to be on those jobs. So that used to be the kind of way we used to work. So tremendous amount of liberty I got in operating, and that's where I developed decision making skills. Like there was nobody to rely on. I had to make all the decisions on my own in the site. So that helped me
very
a lot.
early in your career you had this kind of location in charge kind of a feature.
Yeah. One more major incident which had an influence throughout my career was, so after completion of the project, we were commissioning the plant. During the commissioning, I was only doing most of the commissioning activities. While starting the LPG pumps, it so happened that some of the welding beads went into the inside the pumps. And both the pumps, the shafts were twisted, and they got jammed. Both of them were got jammed. So I told my boss about the incident. He said, "Okay, we'll resolve this." He spoke to headquarters, and Mr. M.K. Chandana was in charge at Hazarwadi. That was also a project, ongoing project. So he was contacted, and immediately he went to Kirloskarwadi. Those were Kirloskar pumps, and collected 2 shafts from there. They asked me what is that I want to rectify those. I told them just the shafts only I want. I can salvage the rest of the material. So they flew those shafts through a person. It was carried personally by one person and brought to the site. So in the meantime, I have salvaged the rest of the mechanical seals and the sleeve which will be there on the shaft by going to a workshop and cutting those shafts into 2 pieces. I salvaged all other material other than the shaft. And the shafts came by evening, I think in 2 days time or so. That came and it was delivered. And that night I sat through with those shafts and made both the pumps ready for the next day morning. And we commissioned. And in spite of this kind of a major incident, nobody had ever said a word to me. Nothing, no adverse word. Nobody had ever said anything. After this incident is over, entire incident was over, Somshekhar was the project in charge from headquarters. He just called me and told me, "Srini, you just make a small report on this incident so that it can serve as a study case as to what happened and how it was resolved. So that in future these kind of things can be avoided." That's all they wanted. And I have sent a good report, beautiful report, describing the entire event as to how it had happened and how we have been able to resolve that and go ahead with the commissioning without loss of time. So when you are treated like this in a company, when you are just, by the time of course I have completed my training period and became a project engineer. So at that level, when you are treated like this, what reason you will have to, complain about the company or complain about anybody?
Correct.
Absolutely nothing. And that has been the case throughout my career. That's kind of a guiding principle which I have followed. Even with my subordinates also, I have followed a similar kind of principle, not to get into a blame game. If anything happens, we'll have to see what is the way out and what is the way forward.
Way forward. How to resolve issues.
How to resolve issues and how to move forward, how to go ahead. That's how it has developed in me. And soon after, it so happened, we have completed commissioning was over. So one day our DGM LPG projects, Mr. R. Ramanathan, who was idolized by everybody.
I've heard his name so many times.
Yeah. Anybody associated with LPG projects or LPG will know his name. At least his name they will know, if they don't know the person. And we were fortunate to have started our career under him. So he came to the plant and he just took me around. He told Sushant, you just go about your work. We have some, I'll just go and see the plant along with this boy. So he used to call like that boy. We went out and he went about asking questions on various things about everything about the plant. I thought he's asking because he doesn't know probably, so I was very enthusiastic in explaining to him everything. Because I was so thorough with that, so I was able to clearly tell him everything. So he said, okay, and we came back, and after 1 week, I received a transfer letter to Chakan plant.
Okay, from there to Chakan.
From Paharpur to Chakan plant.
West,
and at Chakan, I was given the responsibility of carrying out civil works.
Okay.
I'm a mechanical engineer basically. I was given the responsibility of carrying out civil works. If you know Chakan terrain, I don't know whether you have been to that plant or not. It's actually hilly terrain, totally undulated.
Okay.
Actually, the difference between from one point to another point is between 30 to 50 meters. That kind of elevation differences it used to have. So on that we are supposed to build a plant. So that was a challenge. And Mr. Rakesh Mistry was the coordinator from headquarters. So we used to have a lot of discussions on the finalizing the levels and all that, and we used to. The bottom line is that Mr. Ramanathan had taken so much of interest in a very junior level employee while placing him for a particular task. So that's the kind of importance
the company places.
The company gave for the people, and of course all along, even today also, that kind of importance is given to the people. And when I look back, I feel very proud that I have been given that kind of an importance, and it would be the same for every youngster. If we give a similar kind of an importance to any youngster, he would have similar kind of feeling, and the ownership and the loyalty comes out of that kind of treatment to any employee. So that's very important for everybody, and which I got, fortunately. I'm not sure how many others got. I cannot talk for that, but yes, I was fortunate in that.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting these things, and it's very important for not only for the leadership to understand this, but also for the employees who are working, that the company is always behind you. You have to just go on doing your work, and these kind of things really will inspire all the project engineers across the country to take up the work and the challenges that they face head on and resolve them. Sir, you have been quite instrumental in introducing various modern technologies in LPG infrastructure across the country. So some key innovations that really changed the face of HPCL's operation across the country.
Yeah, Sudipto, I wouldn't call them innovations. Actually, it's more of adopting technology.
Okay.
The technologies are very much available in the engineering industry, not specifically to our industry. Adopting these technologies to our industry is what is the most important thing, and that's where I could play some role in that. I'll give you one small example. During my days in LPG projects, I happened to go to one exhibition of engineering products.
Okay.
And there I saw one auto recirculation valve by Keystone.
Okay.
So that immediately attracted me because we have been facing a problem of vapor locks when the pump the utilization is varying depending on the end user how they are operating. It keeps fluctuating. So because of those fluctuations, very often the LPG being volatile liquid, we used to have these vapor lock problems.
Okay.
And the solution people used to find is just release, open the vent valve and release for some time, and all that kind of things they used to do. So when I saw this equipment in the exhibition, I thought this is one thing which we could adopt to our requirement. Then immediately I ordered for one and got that installed in Aurangabad LPG plant.
Okay.
And it worked beautifully.
Okay.
And from that time onwards, this auto recirculation valve was a part of the engineering package of the pump. Now, if you tell that to a refinery man, he may laugh. Because possibly in refineries they might have been using that for ages. We don't know actually, because we are not exposed to that refinery working, so we are not aware of that, and we never adopted that. But not only we, the entire industry. I was in BPC, HPC, generally everything is more or less common. Whatever equipment or anything that they use. So that is when it started. So similarly, when mounted storage came into market, we have adopted and we have gone ahead with our first mounted storage in Alibag LPG plant without any consultant also. We have done it on our own. So similarly, there are these vertical canned pumps which were not there earlier in LPG plants. The normal pumps were being used earlier. In spite of having NPSH problem, NPSH was a challenge. In LPG plants to achieve the required NPSH for the pumps. In spite of that being so, we have never gone towards vertical pumps, which is a natural solution for that. And again, if you tell that to a refinery man, he would laugh.
They do it.
Possibly they might have been using it for a long time, but it had not come into this industry. So that was introduced. Similarly, if you talk about air compressors, reciprocating compressors, we have been using for ages. And they used to have frequent breakdowns, frequent problems, heat up problems, because the compression ratio that is used is the extreme. Generally, compressors are recommended to have 1:7 compression ratio. So going to the extreme of that to get the compressed air. So because of that, they used to have regular problems. So the solution was screw compressors were much more silent, much more efficient, and they don't get heated up like this, and that kind of many advantages were there. So we have adopted that.
And now it is part.
It's a part. These are all, whatever I am telling you,
has become now a norm.
From the time we have adopted, they have become the norm. So these kind of things, and of course the electronic carousels. When they started coming in, adopting that, there were apprehensions, and luckily for me, during that period, while most of these developments have happened. Mr. S. E. Sahni was my boss. He was the DGM LPG projects.
I've heard about his name also a lot, from a lot of people.
A brilliant man and a very daring person. So he is the one who is ready to, back anything that we do for the betterment of the plants. So when you have that kind of a backing, so you will be all the more bolder to get into this kind of things. So at that point of time, there was a tender for 12 carousels. So people were apprehensive. Most of the people said, "No, we will take only one or two electronic carousels.
We'll test it and then we will put it in."
Then we will go for, now we will take balanced mechanical only. Going forward, if these work, we will take it. But when I suggested, no, we should take majority of them at least, if not all. Majority of them we should take electronic only. That's when Mr. Sahni backed, and he also was convinced, and he backed the idea and pushed for it. See, at higher management levels, you need somebody who has the
daring
standing
to go for these kind of changes.
And he is that kind of a personality who has a standing, and he was able to push through. So we struck a balance of taking 7 carousels, 7 electronic carousels and 5 mechanical carousels. And afterwards, mechanical carousels were history. And even the existing mechanical carousels also, we have gone in for revamped with electronic scales on them, that kind of a thing. So, and the further development was the next stage of that was flex speed carousel. Flex speed carousel, I was fortunate to be a part of that. Though I was Chief Regional Manager Hyderabad, I was made part of the team that
for
was
executing that project.
Myself, Shyam Musalwar and Alok. And the carousel was installed at Charlapalli, so I was the one who had to take care of the entire activity, and Chandrasekhar was the plant manager at that time, and who is a man of action. I appreciate him very much for the way he has handled that installation and that new technology. Because basically the plant manager is the one who is pivotal in this kind of thing. If you don't have buy-in from him, it's very difficult to handle such kind of projects. But he was game for it, and he has ensured that it becomes successful. That's how all these developments have happened over the years.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with all these innovations that have been carried out in the LPG industry under your guidance and under your leadership. And we are very fortunate, because of these innovations, now the industry has really developed, and it has become more efficient and more powerful. Sir, the next questions I wanted to ask you was about your leadership style and how you motivate your people. I understood from one of your answers that you give free hand to your employees and you back their actions and doing that. Anything else you want to add on that, apart from that, if you would?
See, I have a check for anything that I do. I put it very simply. If somebody does that to me, how would I feel?
That's a very nice way of putting it out.
Yeah, it's very simple actually. And over the years, I had various experiences. Fortunately, many good, mostly good. Very few, I don't recall actually what were the bad experiences actually. So when I can see that what makes me feel good, it should be true to every other human being. That's how I take it. So generally with that philosophy I work, and one of the major principles that I follow is give room for your subordinates to develop on their own, and give liberty to them to operate. And if something goes wrong, don't harp on that, and
back them.
Back them and look forward to what is next. How do we overcome this, and how do we move forward? That's how we should do it. So, and never be harsh. See, you can be stern without being harsh, without being abusive. you can be stern. You can make it very clear to the other party, other person, what is that you want. You need not shout for it. So these are the few principles I have adopted, and I hope I have been successful reasonably with my way of working.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting this. I am sure that all the middle level managers who are now managing people will gain a lot from this interview and from your answers, this particular answer. Now, a fun question to end with. You have maintained the same body weight across your entire journey in HPCL, which is, I think, extremely rare, and you don't find it anywhere. So, इसके पीछे का राज क्या है? How do you do it?
Yeah, good question. See, so far whatever you have asked me and whatever I have replied to you, I am only a part of a big team, and my contribution is limited to certain areas. What I told you is not that maybe in some places it might have sounded that I have done the whole thing, but that's not true. It's a group activity, it's a collective effort, collective result that we have achieved. But this is one thing
that is your own.
Yeah, I can claim to be my own with only one partner in that.
Okay.
That's my wife.
Okay.
So this is something which I feel proud to be able to maintain that way, because from childhood, right from childhood, I have been into physical activities. Like I was a hurdler when I was in school. Okay. 110-meter hurdle race I used to participate, and I used to compete. Though not won many.
But that's a difficult sport to do.
No, difficult sport, of course. Even for the winner, it is equally difficult. So somebody had won, so he's better. We must accept that. So it was like that, and in college days, I used to practice karate, and all these have helped a long way throughout my career. Especially, see, in the first 20 years of my career, after joining HPCL, I was so intoxicated with work, I forgot about everything. I was not actually doing much physical activity also, other than the work. Of course, work was good enough physical activity when you are working in projects. So afterwards, of course, I came to headquarters, and there also not a great deal of physical activity. So after 20 years, when I was CRM Hyderabad, I had a breakdown, physical breakdown. I had developed spondylosis. And then I was bedridden for a few days. So that's when I recalled that I used to be like this once. Of course, then also I have not gained weight. That's a different issue. But I lost my fitness. That's when I recalled how fit I used to be. So then I started working on that, and I earmark every day at least an hour in the morning for myself for doing this activity, some kind of physical activity. If it is possible, I walk, or if possible, I go to gym. If all these are not possible, I do some yoga within the confines of the four walls. So something or other I do, and make sure that I am in shape. And afterwards, actually, a lot of medications were suggested at that point of time, and a lot of restrictions were suggested. You don't bend backwards, don't bend forward, don't do this, don't do that. So many things were told. So I gradually developed my strength in the body, and then I started doing
all those restrictions.
Yeah, I started doing everything, disregarding the doctor's advices, and now I'm able to be perfectly normal. So
that's a great thing to hear, sir. Very, very inspirational. Actually, a lot of people should be learning this, and we tend to take our health for granted, and we lose the way on the way. So it's very beautiful that you explained this, and it should be a lot motivating for a lot of employees who are listening to this. Thank you very much once again, sir, for coming for this interview and telling us about yourself and your journey. It is truly inspirational, and it is going to benefit a lot of us.
Thank you, Sudhopti. Very nice of you to have conducted this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your incredible journey, leadership insights and experiences. Your contributions have not only driven HPCL's growth, but also inspired countless individuals to pursue excellence in their careers. To our viewers, Thank you for tuning in to this episode of HP Unplugged. We hope Shri Rao's journey motivates you to strive for innovation, leadership and excellence in your own roles. Share your feedbacks in the comment section below and join us in celebrating the achievements of our leaders who drive HPCL forward. Until next time, thank you and namaskar.